live.
Welcome
or I hope we're both
to our
live because
2-week
yes.
build. Yeah! Ahoy, I'm Captain
Woo!
Olof, and this is Queen Raae. And the pirate princess could not be with us today because she's at work.
Or school.
You know.
She's at school. Like the Pirate Princess. We're sorry we're so late, or as I've been taught that I should say, a queen is never late. Everybody else is simply early. That's from the Princess Diaries, if anybody is a millennial like me and has seen that. But we had some Wi-Fi issues, so if we're cut out midstream, we'll just stop because then our Wi-Fi is just, I don't know, acting up, I guess. So, we are going to be working on our 2-week build challenge. So I'm going to share my screen and we can explain a little bit what the 2-week build challenge is. Share, add to stage. The 2-week build challenge. So this is something that Amy Dutton, or Self-Teach Me on Twitter, has created, where you can register, and we're a little cohort who are building something together over the next 2 weeks. And Ola and I are going to try and build or we're not going to try, we are going to build a podcast website that also works as or doubles as a podcast player. So yeah, I guess that's it. And this is going to be, so we usually stream every other Saturday. Those are not always planned, but usually they have more like a thematic, some like theme. And this one, we're just going to be working every day for an hour and see where that takes us. I think Ula's going to work between the streams, and then we're going to kind of do some code reviews and stuff on stream, I think. What do you think about that, Ola? That was my newest idea. I haven't told him, but that's yeah.
I think I have been doing some work between streams.
Yes, because you've already
I have.
Yeah, you've already done that. So I think that's a good way to just do it. For some reason, I didn't share all of their entire screen. Yeah, you done some work?
Yeah, I created a repo in
GitHub.
Yes.
Yeah. You created a record, but you also created this lovely short, which kind of explains what. So I mean, creating just like a regular web page with some posts for every podcast episode is not like the biggest challenge. But what we would like to do is to have people still be able to, click on a podcast episode, start a podcast episode, and then keep surfing around the web. So Ula made a little short here that you can have a look at. Oh, you get to see all the views and stuff. Oh, there we are. We're live. You're just like
I made a video.
This is so meta. I didn't even know you were making a video. Anyway, so yes, we want the podcast episodes to keep playing. So on stream on Saturday, we were actually talking about this, because if you go to, and I think we're going to use the Slow and Steady podcast as like our case that we can use to create this site with. But this is the Slow and Steady podcast, and this is just the page that Transistor, our host, gives us. And I was like, well, and it's probably like server-side rendered, so if you keep clicking around here, the player will stop. But it didn't. If you keep playing around here, it still keeps on going.
Surfing around.
So you surf around here on the page, and this little audio player still works. And I was like, well, that wouldn't happen if you do a refresh. If I do a full refresh of this page, it's gonna stop. It's not gonna keep playing. So it's like persisted across page loads, or like across the surfing. So we were like, but how did I do that? Because I was pretty sure that Transistor is using, I think it's either Laravel or Rails, where it's usually server side rendered. But then it's Ruby on Rails, but then it's at Alpine JS. And if we go and have a look at Alpine JS,
is that on Ruby thing?
No, it's a lightweight JavaScript framework, but I think it's popular amongst Ruby folks.
Yeah.
Anyway, so here it look. I'm thinking that some kind, this JavaScript, this Alpine framework, is taking over the routing. So if we go to any of these pages, because we want every episode to have its own page for SEO purposes. So if I kind
Yes.
of reload this page, it's not any kind of spinner or anything. It's rendered on the server and the HTML is given to us. And
Yes.
then you can start playing down here. And then I can move around. And as we see, it persists. So what I'm thinking is that Alpine JS for them kind of takes over the routing. So when you click on something after that initial load, the JavaScript takes over and it just swaps out what's on the page. So it's not a full page reload, but it swaps out the HTML that it had with the new HTML with JavaScript, behind the scenes. So we were like chatting about this a little bit on stream on Saturday, because I was like, well, in Astro, at least the Astro that we're using for Mixpod, it's server-side rendered. So like on everything you click, there's every page you go to, it's a full reload. And I know with Astro that you can have these little islands, they call them, of client-side rendered client-side rendered content. So, but then I was like, well, how do you kind of move this island up and like keep it existing until you land on this new page and like plop that island down? So I was like, just thinking out loud, I was like, oh, it's probably like some way, like, I know it feels like this is something we were chatting about it. And then somebody just jumped into our comments here and had a really good tip for us, that it says with Astro persistent state in view transitions, you can make the chapter continue playing. So I went Googling and I found this beautiful Astro spa demo. So, spa means single page application. But we don't really want it to be a full single page application. But if you go and look at this live demo, we can see that you can click on this album, and I think you can reload this album and it's server-side rendered, but you can play. And as soon as you start playing, we have the little player like we wanted. And then if I move around, you can see the player is still working exactly like we wanted to.
Yeah.
So this is kind of what we want.
Yes.
So I thought for today, let's just take what you've made and then just see if we can just plop in like any audio, just plop in an audio player and make it persist across pages. And then later on, we can like make it actually be like a podcast with the right podcast episodes and stuff. Yeah. And the only thing I've done so far is I went into this code and we looked at the source.
It's a pull request then.
For today? Yeah, I'll make a pull request to your repo today.
I
Is that
thought
what
you
you were
already
thinking
did.
about? No, I haven't. The only thing I've looked at so far is this demo project that, and then I thought, okay, if it's going to be persistent on every page, he's probably put it in the layout. So I like went in here, I looked at the layout file, and my guess was right. Look at that. Here is an audio player, and it's the player component, and it says client load. So it means that it's going to be loading on client. But then here, I think this is the key part. Transition persist player. So this thing should not kind of be reloaded on a new page. It should be persisting. Oh, this is our daughter calling. I'm just going to answer that. Hello, Lilian.
Can you mute yourself instead of me? Mute yourself. Yeah, good. Okay, so I was talking about, it's going to be mirrored now because I made this here. It says I'm not my user. Sorry about that, but and I made a persona here, the new junior dev. You can see I'm sorry about the mirroring, but it was for the shorts. And we want her to keep surfing while the music plays. It makes surfing better. And at least it makes the playing better. You don't have to sit there just stuck. Are you sound on again?
I'm sound on again. She just
What
wanted
did
to
you
know
say
if we
then?
were. She wanted to know if we were gonna go to the hobby shop after
And are
school or
you?
not. Yes, we are. I need to get out
Oh,
of the
good
house,
then.
so we're gonna go to the hobby shop
Oh,
after the
nice.
thing. So yeah. So the only thing I've
That's
or what I
nice.
found was this, like the transistent persistent player. So I just Google it, and as it seems like it came August 3rd in 2.10, persistent state and view transitions. So let's see. In the first release of the views transition router brought smooth transitions between pages, but still caused any stateful islands. So that's what we want. We want a stateful island. So it
Yeah.
means that the island on the page has a state, i.e., where in the audio are we? Like what audio is playing and where in the audio are we playing? Like what, and where in the audio? I don't know where. What time stamp? And it should just keep on playing because I think we could have done a full page reload and then we could have kind of remembered where in the audio you were and then started
Yeah.
up that audio again after the reload. But
Yeah.
then you would have like a little, it would pause or there would be like a little break for every page reload. And I
Yeah.
know that at least on phones you're not allowed, and probably in regular Chrome too now, you're not allowed to start audio without user interaction. So that would have meant that on every page reload, the user would have to go and like press play again. So we could have remembered exactly where they were, but on every page reload, they would have to press play. So this is
Yeah.
exactly what we want. This is this. I'm going to zoom in on this. So our first router brought smooth transitions between pages, but still caused any stateful islands or elements to be re-rendered. And I think what they talk about the view transitions are these like really nice. Let's go back to our demo. If I click on this, like really see how beautiful it is. Like it doesn't look like there's any kind of like reload or anything. It's just like a very pretty transition. Do you see that? Like it just
Yoo-hoo.
zoom. Like that is pretty. So I think that you could then achieve with view transitions, but having this component down here being stateful or being keep their state, like that didn't work. But we've added a new transition persist directive to the API to address this. With this directive, you can keep the state of the DOM elements and islands from the old page when transitioning to the new page. Here's a demo of it in action. Maybe it's the same demo.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's a different demo. It's let's not look at that.
Thousands of films. Oh
For
yeah.
example, to keep a video playing across page navigation, you can add transition persist to the video. Yeah. So why, like, when do you need this? Like, we obviously have a case here with audio, but also with like maps. So way back when, way back when, I made this audio player of like audio guides of Oslo.
Yeah.
So same thing, I needed a persistent player. So this is actually a Jekyll site that hydrates into an Angular 1 application, I think. It's that old. And I made all the hydration stuff myself. But anyway, one was the player, but the other thing was the map. Like if you move around here, I wanted all of these to be separate pages so that we could get the SEO. But I wanted like the map to kind of smoothly be able to interact with it without it having like a reload. So the cases here are kind of videos, audio, map, or if you have a little like animation playing that you want to keep on playing across pages, all of those are good cases. So likewise, this feature works with any client-side framework component. So we can choose if we want to do vanilla JS or React or anything like that. So what I'm wondering is like, how does it do it? Because there can be no page reload. Like it's actually doing some kind of swapping of the page client side. So I'm wondering if all of our server side logic would still be run or not. Like this is going to be interesting.
Yes. Let's
Mm,
get to it.
no, I need to learn a little bit more before we can do it.
Really?
You can persist components and HTML elements instead of replacing them across page navigation. It doesn't say how it does it.
No.
Oh, it looks
It's
like we
cheap.
can move them too. So you can also manually identify corresponding elements if the island element is in a different component between the two pages. So if it actually moves, we can do that. Cool. can also take a transition name. Okay. Built-in animation directives. Oh, this is a new section. Well, it doesn't say anything about how we do it. So
That's
let's.
life, and I'm not.
You're not the theoreticizer.
I think it's totally fine that they're not saying how they did it. But we have to do that. We have to say what, why, and how.
Oh, we want to do that now.
Was that kind of the how? You were talking about how now?
I think we're kind of talking about. I think the how is just adding this, but I feel like we're gonna run into some issues. So okay, let the what is that what we start? How can I never remember this? The what, why, how, what?
That's why we have
So
this little card, you know?
so what we want to add a persistent audio player to our podcast website, and
Yes.
why? It's because we want our users to or visitors to be able to start playing a podcast episode and keep surfing our site. So they can keep listening to one episode, but then go and read the about page, go and read about another episode or maybe a blog post we have there without the audio being cut. So our website becomes a podcast player in addition to kind of a content website. And the
Yes.
how, we got a tip from now I don't remember the name, but we got a tip in the comment on our last stream that Astro lets you do this with transition persist. So it lets you persist DOM elements between page changes. So somehow it's not doing a page reload, it's just swapping out all of the DOM except this one persistent DOM element, I imagine. So let's head on over to GitHub and start where you left off.
Yes. Yes. One moment, please. No. You don't want moments.
So,
there
well, wait, what did you call that? I'll just go to
our
podcast website. That is super nice. And then I'll do the GitHub CLI, and we'll just hop on over here. And then I'm probably going to do some cleanup before we do the actual work, because that's just my style, isn't it?
Okay.
Oh, what did I do? I just cloned it in like my main. That's not good. I'm going to move it into the palace later. Or maybe I should just do it right away. I'm just going to do it right away.
Okay,
And
are you ready?
see,
Here's the tipper. Our tipper is Eric J. Franco.
Thank you, Eric J. Franco. And thank you for watching all the way to the end of that stream and letting us know letting us know this tidbit in the comments.
That's why we're here on the YouTube, so that people can interact.
As you can see, I'm not a power terminal user, so I did that in my Finder. Let's bump it up. We'll do npm install. Hopefully our Wi-Fi is not gonna crash on us. And then it's npm run dev is the is it not? Yeah. What is happening?
I hear lots of noises there.
Yeah, it's the little animals are running. I need to figure out how to. We can't have them like running and messing up the streams. I'm trying to. The new service I'm trying to. Of course we can. I don't know what's up. I've been having like it's so weird. Like last week's stream and this stream, like we are just having technical problems, and I'm feeling. I don't know what I'm feeling. I'm just feeling that the tech universe is out to get me right now. Okay, so the streaming gods, I need to make some kind of sacrifice. So this is what you made. So tell me how you made it while I do some cleaning.
Yeah. So I just went into my terminal and into the kind of overall folder I wanted it to be in, and then I use this here. Okay, let's just check it out so I'm sure that I say it exactly right. Well, first I had to make sure that I was on node 18 because I wasn't, you know. and I did, and npm create Astro at latest. That's what I did.
Okay. So what I'm doing now is just because I know myself that I will get hung up on this styling. So what I'm doing is that I just removing all styling, and then I am adding the MVP CSS that will give us minimalist style sheet for HTML elements. So we can start by focusing on the semantic HTML, making our site work, and then we can add on CSS. And another thing here is that we're going to be making 2 podcast website out of this one repo. So that's another thing we need to figure out with Astro, is how we can have kind of one base Astro site, but then end up having 2 different stylings. So I just want to keep the stylings out of it for now. But I also can't look at ugly sites. So we're going to use MVP CSS to get us going. So I copied the little snippet here. And what is really nice with Astro, because it's just, regular HTML, vanilla HTML, you can just plop things in right in the head. No use for like React Helmet or anything like that if you're coming from React land. So I think this is our styling removed. Let's have a look at the page now. Look at that.
Yes.
So then we're going to use our semantic styling to the docs. And I think there's like a quick start template. Yes. So I think if we just make a header, then it should all start looking a little bit nice. So index. So let's remove this SVG. We don't need the Astro SVG. And then we're going to create a header. So podcast website. And then that's going to be our H1, the title. And then I think if you go and look at this template again, we can have a little subheading by just adding a paragraph within our header. So that's what we already have. So let's put this inside of here. Podcast website. Let's make this a paragraph. Okay, now we're talking. So we have a title. We have 2 paragraphs. We don't need that class because we removed that. Then we have the header. We're going to remove this H1 because we have that up there. And then we have a proper list that has these cards that are just the list elements. But why is this not? Are we still having some kind of styling in here? Let me have a look. It shouldn't not need any more than this. Let me have a little bit of a look where these stylings are coming from. And I know I'm just doing what I said, why we're not doing this, because I wanted, yes, here in the main, here are some data, here are some styling, color white. So let's just search for white. We're doing this now so that I won't do it later.
Yes. I like it. It's piratey.
Look at that. Now we have podcast website. Boom, boom. And then I also think let's just get rid of this card and let's just put the content right in there. So this is the index page. So Queen Raae codes for more information. href. So we'll do. So what are some, do you have anything kind of on your wish list for this project? Is there something that you really would like to have happen, or features you want?
Yes, I do. And now I can show them too because it's not mirrored. Okay, I did the first one repo, and then I want, like you said, it's great if we can have one repo and 2 pages. So
Or 2 sites. Yeah.
yeah, 2 sides, so we don't have to mess. And then other people can just copy it and make the exact same site as us if they wanna for their
Exactly.
podcast. And then we're gonna use the slow and steady way of. No, we're going to use the slow and steady to just test out getting in an RSS feed. And like you said, 1 page per episode for SEO. That sounds great. And but I also want to put my content in there, so I'm going to call my podcast website olavea.com. And just copy paste all my markdown pages into it. Made my old blog posts and old pages and stuff like that. Because that's really easy. I just copy paste the whole folder, like 2023, and just put it in.
Yeah. So you
And
want to have your podcast and your blog on the same site.
yes, because my blog is about stuff going on in my dev life, and the podcast is supposed to be about dev life pirates. So hopefully my guests will continue talking about their dev life, and they have so far, but you never know. People might start talking about work right away. Well, I do write a little bit about work too, so that's
Look
that's
at
fine.
that.
Yep.
So there we go. Look at that. Now we have a little card and everything. I don't know why this is looking bad though, but section, header.
You didn't like the card? I think it's something.
Oh no, the card, the section has to be, the header has to be on the section, and then the card is on there. But we'll do it like this instead. Find us on interwebs. This is going to be good enough for now. So what we are trying to do, so this is a refactor.
Yes.
Remove styling, use MVP CSS. Let's see if I have, if you've given me permissions, Ola.
I haven't. But you can make a pull request.
Well, I didn't want to make a pull request out of this one because I wanted that to just, let's make a pull request out of this one. Next one. Check out persistent player.
You're making pull request now?
I haven't. Let's just, we'll do that off stream. So let's just delete this whole. Look at me just deleting almost everything. Git, checkout, main, commit all, amend.
So where are you committing this to now?
I'm just making a commit locally, and then I'll push it to you after you give me access.
I should give you some sort of access. It's in settings then, probably.
Yeah.
Collaborators. Probably.
Okay,
yes.
So let's do the persistent player. Let's see how this works. So to make it to check, okay. I am not checkout. Oh, there we go. And then rebase for main. Whew. Are you kidding me? I am just gonna get oh, it's because I did an amend. I'm sorry. You know what? There. And then we're gonna delete that branch.
I'm
gonna delete that branch, and then I'm gonna make it again.
Delete. I like it.
I love it when like a stream is, I just do nothing but just maintenance. Okay, there we go. Player. Let's go call player so I can actually spell it. Okay, so be able to test this, I am thinking that we need to create 2 pages just to have like 2 pages to check to see if it persists. So we'll just do another page. another page.
Okay, let's see if I can do it then. Confirm. Open your two-factor authentication. Okay.
Okay,
Verifying.
so I'm creating another page just so we can test this thing.
Add people. Yes, I want to add.
And then let's go in then. So what we need to test now is that, okay, we need to add this persistent component. So I think we'll need to make it as a component. I don't think we can just like wrap around parts of the DOM. We need to make a component with that DOM and then put that in. So let's do the components folder again. Components.
I invited you to the repo.
That is great.
So we'll see. We'll see if that's enough.
So what do we need this to be? We just need it to be an audio player with any kind of audio. Let's see what Copilot when I need you.
No, it's too much. There's too much traffic going on inside your computer. Copilot is sleeping.
Audio. Can't you just like come up with some kind of fun audio for me?
That's how they react, the artificial intelligence. When it gets too much stress, that they'll just go to sleep. That's fine.
Okay, let's do one of these then. What doesn't it have like a play episode? No. Where's an audio element I can just like steal? Just want to steal an audio element.
Yeah,
maybe
do
there
it.
is no. Maybe they have a custom audio player. That can also happen. Here we have. Let's just copy this. Copy element.
It's xref, just like we talked about.
Yeah, there was a lot of things on here. So
can play true, they call it here.
But here there looks like there is an actual audio file. So
yeah.
So then I guess we want to add that to our layout because then it keeps persisting. So let's do a player. So how do we import these? See, now I shouldn't have. Oh, we imported like that. So we do import and then we'll do player from components.
Yeah.
And then it looks like the convention is a big, like capital letters. Okay. So now we have the player. We're going to put it underneath everything else. So let's just see if we have it now, and then we'll try to persist it afterwards. We got to run it. I'm not seeing it. We could add a little div.
There was something black all the way down at the bottom. I saw.
I think that's the Astro thingy.
Oh no.
Let's see. Do we have it
it's
here?
Invisible, probably.
Audio. Yeah, so we do have it. But where are you on the page? Oh, it's this div is like, oh, it's outside of main, so it looks like it's not part of our design.
Okay. Is that the basic HTML?
No, I think that's the MVP CSS. But let's have a look at the audio player HTML because I have to remember exactly. Yeah, it's because we don't have controls because I think we copied was they styled it themselves. So look, here it is now.
Yes, click it.
So
click it.
Yeah, but I have to create a link. Oh yeah, let's click it.
It's moving. Yes,
it is moving. And then we need to have a link to our other page. So let's copy how we do the
It's moving. It's moving.
nav.
Yeah.
Copy,
How are we
copy, copy
doing it?
element.
Oh yeah.
So we're not going to have a drop down. We're just going to do another. Well, sorry. We're going to do another page. Another. I just called it another, didn't I? It's the slug. And then we don't need a logo. Okay. Yes, we now have a link up here. So let's go to another page. We see that it's still here, but if I start playing it now,
Yeah.
we need a link back as well. So we can jump between these pages without any reloading. Home. Okay, so if I start playing this now and then I jump, I at least can hear in you can say it says 000 there, and I can hear that it stopped playing, and I can start playing again. And we go to another page, we see that it says 00, and it stopped playing in my head. So now, do we think all we need to do is just add this little transition?
Yes, we do. We do think that.
That would be okay. I'm gonna start playing it again.
Do you hear it?
It is okay. No, it still stops. Okay, then we need to learn a little bit more about this stuff. Maintaining state. For example, continuous playing as navigate to another page that contains the same. This will work for both forward and backward navigation. You can also place the directive on an Astro island. Oh, so it looks like it doesn't have to. Oh, so we should not make it an island, I think, because you're from a client directive. So video, we can just put it straight there. We're not going to put it on the Astro component when we use it. We're going to put it right on that DOM element because we're not doing this kind of client load. So I think here you're creating a counter, for instance, in React or in Vue or in one of these other frameworks, and you're putting transition persistent on their kind of component, but we are still within Astro, within our player Astro. So okay, so let's try to put that straight on the player and not when we're using it. So we'll put it straight on here, I guess. And then we don't need this div because that was just because I was weird. Okay, let's try again. Let's play. I can hear it. You guys can't hear it. No. No, it stops. Okay. We're doing this. Video controls. Is there some kind of requirements? Do we have to add this kind of view transitions to it too? This one doesn't. This just has transition persist. Naming. Adding a view transition. Oh, we need to maybe also add it to Opt into using view transition on individual pages by importing and adding the view transition routing component on every desired page.
Okay.
Import and add the view component in your common head or shared layout. Okay, so I think this then turns it into single page application mode. Okay, so let's try to do that then. So we need to add view transitions. So if we add that to layout, in our case, we'll add that to every page. And we'll need to have it within kind of the head here. Because that's probably what's doing all the fancy pants stuff. That's what's like actually making things swap and stuff behind the scenes. And then also I'm thinking maybe we need to configure it. So, because now it's output server, maybe we need to configure it so that it's not output server or hybrid. Let's see if this works, and then we'll keep working. It's working.
What? What's different? Why did it work?
I would love that you could hear the audio now. So that the change that I did was adding in view transitions. So first, the only thing we did was add the transition persist, but we didn't have any code that would actually honor transition persist, if that makes sense. Ula, are you there?
Yes.
Yes, there you are.
It works.
So when we added this view transition in, it worked. But what I am now super fascinated is, will the server side code run on this page even when we do that? So
Stop! No, don't get into that. Can't
I'm
you
just gonna do console log. That's all.
Can't you just go through step by step what you did?
I am gonna do that. I just need to check this, otherwise my curiosity will take the better of me.
Oh no!
So the server code still works. It said services high, services high. That is interesting. Could I then password protect it? Okay, we're not going to go into that today. Okay.
Okay.
Let's summarize.
Okay. Yes. Just the persisting.
Yeah, just the persisting. So we'll start with the what.
No. Yes. Okay then.
The what,
Can't you
why,
just
and how.
summarize the persisting?
I'll do that very soon. Then we can clip this if we want to.
All right.
Okay, so I'm gonna find this demo that is prettier than ours to showcase. Live demo. Okay, so the what? We want a persistent audio player on our podcast website, similar to this site, where you can start playing on one page and then you can move around and it still keeps on playing. I can still hear the audio in my headphones, but I can go around and kind of browse around without it being cut. That's what we wanted to do, and that is also kind of the why we want people to be able to land on our podcast pages and start playing, but also still explore our universe, our site, keep surfing around. And to do so, we had to import view transitions from Astro Transitions. And it said you want to do this on every page that should support transitions, and transitions is what's making this persistence happen. And in our case, we wanted to just happen on all pages. So we imported it in our common layout component. And then you add the view transition component to the head of your site. And when that is done, you can add transition persistent to any DOM element, but it's particularly interesting for audio elements, video elements, map elements, animated elements and stuff like that, because it will then persist the DOM element and kind of like take it out, change everything else, and then plop it in so that you still have that same state for that particular part of your DOM. It will keep the state even if you move around. And the results for us, which isn't looking as good as the other example, is that I can go to this homepage, and what we just tested it with was just one audio player with one audio file, and I can start playing it. I hear it, I can jump around, and I can still hear it. Success!
Yes.
So
Awesome.
your job then, Ula, will be
Yes.
to create a, what would be a good next step?
Okay, where's my wish list again? I had it. I had a wish list. Here it is.
Yeah.
I am. Yo!
It's Braden.
Yes! Hello there!
So I think the next step, even though it's not so fun because it's not about this player, I think the next step would be to generate one page per episode.
One
And that
page per episode.
And then the next step would be that you can click a start episode, and that start episode will chat with the player and tell the player what audio file to play. If that makes sense. Because now we've hard coded it to just being this this file. So it plays this one file when you click play. But what we
Yes.
want to do now is that we want to tell it to play the audio file for the episode. So I'm thinking there's two ways of doing this. We can do it with JavaScript, where we kind of notify this component that, okay, here is our new audio
Yes.
file. But I'm also thinking that maybe every page could have its own audio file, and then, or its own audio DOM element, and then we give it a transition name, and then it would kind of, if you start playing it, it will like keep the one that you are playing.
Yes.
But I don't know, like, this is just a thought I'm having. Maybe that could work, that so when you click play on the episode, kind of that becomes the persistent player, and then if you click on another one, that becomes the persistent player. So instead of having to talk to the component, we just kind of swap out the component because when you press play on a new episode, it doesn't have to be a smooth transition. It just needs to start playing. But anyway, if you start by figuring out how to create one page per episode,
Yes.
instead of creating one page per markdown page or markdown file, we want to create one page per episode. And then you'll need to talk to the Transistor API. I think it's better than using the RSS feed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll get you access to the Slow and Steady API so that we can start playing around with a show that has almost 200 episodes to see how this would work for a show that's been running for a long time.
Yes. So we're not using RSS feeds then?
We could just take the RSS feed and use that, but I do think that the Transistor their API will just it will just be a little bit nicer, because RSS is pretty annoying to parse sometimes. And I don't know if you get, one of the things I really like about Transistor is that you have people, so you get like an overview of all the people that have been part of the part of your podcast.
Yeah.
And that's this user resource endpoint. But you should start with like the episode endpoint, and then just get all the episodes and then create a episode per page per episode. And all you can need to show to begin with is the title, the summary, and then find the audio URL and plop that into an audio DOM element or HTML element. And then we'll figure out how we can swap them out. Because now we kind of prove that we can have a persistent player. So now we take a step back and we do all the kind of the other glue work, and then we can work on the persistent player again later.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Or when Braden is called SFX, does that mean that he comes from San Francisco?
I think it's Braden that I know from a Discord, and he's part of the 2-week build.
Oh, what are you building, Braden? Whoa.
Yep. Here's the media URL is the one you want to use for the audio.
Media URL.
Yes. I'll create a should I create a task, an issue for you?
Yes. Media URL. Right.
Look at
Yeah.
young Ola and young Benedicta
Yes.
or young Queen Raae. Look at us. We are
On the internet,
cute.
you stay young forever.
Stay young
Yeah.
forever. Sometimes I'm wondering if I should change my avatar, because sometimes when I talk to people, at least on Twitter, I feel like they think I'm 20 something and just learned how to code.
Yeah.
And that is kind of true, because I am 20. I think I'm like 24 in that picture or something, and I'm not 24 anymore.
You're saying that you need a rebranding?
Well, I kind of rebranded with, I have the Queen photo, on top here that shows my real age. This is baby Benedicta, and then baby Queen Raae, and then actual Queen Raae. Create 1 page per podcast episode.
Yarg.
Use the transistor API to create 1 page per episode. On each page, display the title, summary, and a audio element with the media URL as the source. We got an answer here from Braden.
Yes.
There we go. Okay. Submit new issue, and then I'll write here that I'll get the slow and steady API access as for testing purposes.
Yes.
Features. There. Some finger paint.
Finger paint is great.
I have a friend who uses Plessner patterns. So I've been wanting to cooperate with her. Now we're just over into like co-work mode. If somebody wants to kind of just work and listen to me chat, then that's where we're at now. Yeah, but she's actually created several of her patterns together with her kids. So she has these like beautiful patterns, and I would really, really love to cooperate with her on creating and making some of these like SVG backgrounds that people could use digitally. Because I really, really love kind of the organic feel to her patterns, and the reason is because she often uses organic like things to create her patterns. So this is moss. You can see these are moss that she has picked in the mountains and then photographed or scanned and then done like things to in digitally to make the patterns. And I think this one is called Eggshell. Yes. So this is Eggshell. And I've seen the photos of her and her kids breaking the eggs and doing things to the eggshells to make this pattern happen. And marble here is, I think it's like paint swabs or paint. I don't know what we call it. You just do paint strokes. The same thing with the Zen garden. It's also her doing some watercolor, I think. Yeah. So if anybody's interested in having these as their backgrounds, let me know, and I'll see if I can convince her to make some of these into digital backgrounds. Braden said, "Love those." Yes, me too. I love these. But that's what I thought about when you said finger paint. So maybe you could have your kids do some finger painting, and then you can photograph it, and you can use it as like a background or in your digital world in some way. Because I feel like, I don't know, we need to bring more of this like organic stuff into our work, especially now with AI and everything. It's nice to have like the opposite. So, yeah.
Yep.
And also, by the way, I want this to be like all the fabric in our household, but that
you can put it in the caravan.
Yeah, in the caravan. Yeah, here you can see how she made them. Look at this one. This is crayons, like crayon pieces that became this pattern. I mean, this would be lovely. This would be lovely in the caravan. So are you saying yes to the caravan, Ola?
No, absolutely not. But I did think about it. I did think about it. So I went to the gym today with my gym buddy, Captain Alistair, and he
look at that. Sorry, here are the little kiddies breaking the shells. Yep.
Wow, that looks painful.
It's child labor for you.
Yeah. Now I went to the gym with my gym buddy, Captain Alistair, and we talked about caravan and stuff, and he was like, "Yeah, that sounds like a boat." And then we talked about how caravans are a little bit like boats, and yeah.
But so they can't sink.
Thinking. What do you say?
They can't sink.
Have you ever tried floating a caravan?
I haven't tried floating, but what I'm saying is, like, with a boat, I remember when we had your little boat, like, you have to go and see to them, because if something happens, it would like sink in the harbor. But if we get this caravan that we're talking about, like, if it fails, it can just stand on the parking lot with a little plastic thing over it, and we can just pretend it doesn't exist. While any boat we've ever had, which, you know, we have a cabin with a boat, and, you know, you have to see to them, because suddenly they will sink because there's too much water in them, or they'll sink because there's a hole, or like you need to keep looking at them. But that's why I like about this little caravan.
I know you didn't mean it this way, Braden, but I was about to say the same thing as Ola. It does look painful, and that's the thing with caravan. You know, Queen Raae, she's so optimistic, and she's like, "No, it can't sink. It can't sink. It's not going to be. It's not that risky, you know." And but that's.
I think he was talking about the eggshells, not my caravan.
He was. I know. I'm not blaming it on him, but that's what my training buddy said. He was like, "Yeah, it's just like a boat," and we were like, "Yeah, it's just like a boat." And he has this boat, and he has to fix it all the time, and then the snow comes, and he has to go down there and take away the snow, and, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, so it is like a boat, and I grew up with boats, and you you didn't. So yeah. And
if anybody's wondering what we're talking about, I think we're
I have a video. I made a video.
You made a video, and I think if I do it like this, everyone can hear the audio. So I'm gonna play it. Oh, can you hear the audio?
Yeah, I heard something. This is our new camp. The window is a bit airy.
So this is the camper I want to buy.
It's going to be great. This is our new camp. The window is a bit airy.
So I know it's crazy, but I really, really want it.
Look at this! Startup Piraten podcast. Yeah,
Hello,
yarg.
Startup Piraten. We were kind of done with the actual work. Now we're just hanging out and
Yeah,
chatting
yeah, yeah,
until our
yeah.
daughter comes home. And this is what started it. Where is my well, you've been vlogging so much that my vlogs are like all the way gone.
Yeah,
Where
that's
are
life.
they? That's life. Okay, here's my short that started it.
Shh.
Oh, shh, don't tell Captain Ula, but I really, really want to buy this beauty right here and turn it into my office. It's a little on the crazy side, but maybe it isn't. Let me know as a comment.
Yeah, yeah. I
Oh.
notice how inside Queen Raae's head that window is still on, and inside is like beds and stuff like that. Yeah, this beauty, beauty. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I I haven't joined all the Facebook groups of Polettas. Like, so this is a Poletta, which is a caravan that was created in Poland, I think. And it's tiny. That's why like I want it because it's tiny. I'm gonna share my screen again. No, it doesn't want to share my screen because I have to be in the
So, and
same.
that's the second thing that my training buddy Captain Alistair brought up. Because so it's going to be a lot of it's going to be a lot of work. I said, and he was like, "Yeah, well, that's good." Because then Queen Raae will have some time before she starts redecorating the house.
Yeah, because
Won't she?
Ula doesn't want to live in a refurb house that is in transition. So I'm like, it's
Yep.
much better if we get this caravan because, all of we don't have to live in it. So I just wanted to show like how cute it actually can become. So look at that. But see, this is the same. This is the same size. This is the same size. And we can paint it. Lillian really wants to paint it pink. And look at that. That's what I said. You can put a fireplace in there. I want to put a fireplace in there. Look at that. Look at that cute little fireplace. And there's even like, ooh, lots of audio here now.
Where's the
Yeah.
fireplace?
That was the tiny one I showed you.
Well, I
Didn't you
wasn't
look?
watching. I was typing.
Oh, my daughter, our daughter is working. It's calling again. Hello, Lilian.
Yeah, yeah. So
Hello.
yeah, Braden, it's kind of nuts. It's kind of nuts, and but that's how we roll over here. We do nuts. And of course, the pirate princess really, really wants to do it, and she wants to paint it probably pink, so not white like the one you're seeing here, but pink. And she also wants to put on a name. Yes, look at this. Look at this. You know what? I can see the appeal.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's.
Can you see the appeal of your partner not doing interior decorating, but
Oh, was it
camper
that?
decorating? Or was it just a caravan?
Startup Piraten podcast, lovely with the caravan. Yeah.
Yes. So, look at that. So, the pirate princess wanted to know if she could buy an ice cream on her way home.
Yeah, she asked me earlier today also
Yeah, I said
because
no.
she didn't get one on Saturday, and then I asked, "Yeah, so do you usually have ice creams on Saturday?" And she was like, sometimes."
Well, you know what? I want an ice cream because the weather is turning. So I'm gonna tell her that we can buy an ice cream on our trip to the hobby store if she pays for it and pays for mine.
Sneaky, sneaky. But yeah.
Exactly. It's the only side to be on.
Oh my God, what happened? Well, I have to say, like my father, who was also was named Captain Ura, this is not a democracy.
No,
They
it's
tried
not.
yesterday. Yesterday at dinner, they tried to vote Yeah.
But a queen can also just go rogue.
Rogue? Well, you always.
I mean, queen doesn't even listen to democracy. She,
That's. No, never. Well, we'll see about that. We'll see about that. So, yeah, good.
Yeah, and thanks everyone for showing up. We're gonna
Yep.
be here tomorrow at exactly the same time, which is like an hour and 15 minutes earlier than right now. So we start at 1400 CET, which is 2 p.m. CET, for those of you who don't do European/military time. And we'll keep chatting about the caravan.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Braden,
Yeah.
just come on through as soon as you wake. We're probably gonna chat overtime next year as well. Next year, tomorrow as well.
So, and I also found the web page for Startup Piraten. It looks like it's in German.
Oh, let's have a look. Do
Groovy?
you want to share? Do you want to share
Yes.
it, or should I share it?
I will try it. I'm not so groovy with this share screen. Yeah, I think I made it. I think I'm gonna make it. Yes, I did it. I did it.
Because I think I know. I know.
You know?
I think I know who they are. If Queen goes rogue, Van's got to be called Van Solo.
Yeah. You know these people? Is that what you're saying?
It's very tiny. Can you
Make it bigger? Okay, I'll try. Do I do just like this?
I think it's just yeah. I know, but what are the name? I'm pretty sure that I've communicated with them in a community.
I saw a name here.
Click on mention.
Franziska. Mention. Yes, that's I had German. I had German in school, and the Pirate Princess also has German. Here it is. Yeah. Dennis. Oh, there's lots of people.
Yeah.
Who are all these people? Dennis.
What does Gastegeber mean? Does that mean host? I mean, I'm guessing
Gast is guest. Yeah. And Macher is maker. Something.
Macher and guests. And Gäste. Yeah. We've communicated. I don't remember which community. Could it be the Mega Maker community?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. If you don't join my call, I gotta jump into your stream. Have I forgotten a call?
No.
Oh, now I know. Now I know. We were co-working earlier today.
You were?
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Yes. Now I know. Mega Maker, a great community, folks. Because now I got scared. So sometimes I'm not the best with my calendar. So now I was like, oh my God, was I supposed to be on the call right now? Because I do have sales calls coming up this week. So I was like, uh-oh. So if you speak German, head on over to Startup Piraten. And I'm guessing it's all about startups, but in German.
Yeah, this is something. Okay, bye.
I think we should close out.
Yeah, we should probably. Sorry. They're going to have lunch, and that's a good idea. Lunch is good.
That is a good idea.
Okay,
I'm gonna go buy hobby supplies with the Pirate Princess. We are making flowers and some kind of stuff for her friend's mice.
No, I tried to click on Braden. Did you also do that?
Nope. You just double clicked.
That's what I mean. Okay.
You want to do a outro, Ulla? Or are you missing the Pirate Princess?
Are we doing this tomorrow too?
Tomorrow at 2 p.m., 1400 hours CET. That would be Central European time. That's an hour and now 21 minutes ago the tomorrow.
All right. Let's see if I have my manuscript here. I don't. So, welcome back tomorrow, everybody. We'll keep building.
We're going to keep building every day this week. I'm gonna click it. I'm gonna click it.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, and like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Bye.